I never imagined a simple landscaping job could end with police sirens and a neighborhood showdown. But that's exactly what happened when I crossed paths with Linda Carter, the HOA president who ruled Maple Grove like a queen. There she stood, her perfectly styled brunette hair bouncing as she shrieked, pointing at her once flawless lawn now, a patchwork of flipped sod, brown roots glaring up at the sky. Two cops stood nearby, inspecting the chaos, while Linda's face twisted with fury, her designer sunglasses barely hiding the mascara streaking down her cheeks. I leaned against my truck, arms crossed, watching the drama unfold. I'd warned her. She didn't listen. And now, her little empire was crumbling in front of the whole neighborhood. It all started 6 months earlier. I've been running evergreen lawn care for nearly a decade, keeping yards pristine in some of the fanciest suburbs around. Most clients are great, they pay on time, appreciate the work. Then came Linda Carter from Maple Grove, the kind of gated community where the HOA fines you for a blade of grass out of place. As HOA president, Linda wasn't just particular, she was a tyrant. I'd heard whispers from other contractors about her impossible standards, but when she offered me a contract to overhaul her yard, the paycheck was too good to pass up. "You understand my lawn has to be perfect," she said during our first meeting, her voice dripping with superiority as she scanned her already immaculate yard. "As HOA president, my property sets the standard." Her tone made my skin crawl, like I was a kid being scolded, but I flashed a professional smile and promised her the best. We signed a deal for a full makeover, new sod, custom landscaping, a top-notch irrigation system. It was a big project, and despite my gut telling me to walk away, I dove in. Trouble started the moment we broke ground. Linda was everywhere, hovering over my crew, nitpicking every move. "That bush is a 1/4 inch too high," she'd snap, or "this grass isn't the exact green the first wanted." I'd explain our Techniquez industry standard, by the way, but she'd just purse her lips and insist she knew better. We adjusted, documented every change, and kept going, even when she demanded tweaks that weren't in the contract. It was exhausting, but we delivered. Her yard was a masterpiece. Emerald grass, elegant flower beds, an irrigation system that could have watered a golf course. Then came the first payment. "I'm not paying the full amount," Linda declared, while VYing a manicured hand like she was dismissing a waiter. "The work's not up to my standards." I asked for details. She pointed to issues in irrigation system she claimed was faulty. It wasn't. Sod, she said, wasn't laid right. It was flawless, a design she swore didn't match our agreement. It did, down to the last shrub. After hours of arguing, she grudgingly paid 60 fan tram of the bill, promising the rest once it's fixed. We finished the job, and even Linda couldn't find real flaws. Her yard was the envy of Maple Grove. But when it was time for the final payment, due law for 8/25, she vanished. Calls went to voicemail. Emails sat unread. When I finally caught her at home, she brushed me off, saying she was reviewing the work and would pay when she felt like it. Weeks dragged into a month. I sent invoices, polite reminders, then sterner letters. Nothing. Finally, an email from Linda pushed me over the edge. "Your work is riddled with deficiencies," she wrote. "I'm preparing a report for the HOA about your shoddy business. Maybe landscaping isn't for you." My blood boiled. After all the extra hours, the premium materials, her endless demands, she was stiffing me and threatening my livelihood. I sent one last letter, GIVYing her 5 days to pay up. Her response? A text. "Contact me again, and I'll report you to the HOA for damaging my property. Know your place." That was it. I'm not one for revenge, but something snapped. I called my lawyer, who confirmed that unpaid materials like the sod were still legally mine. The next morning, I rolled up to Linda's house with 2 of my best guys. In full VYEW of her security cameras, we carved her lawn into neat rectangles and flipped them over, creating a checkerboard of green and dirt. We didn't take a thing, just rearranged what was mine. It was oddly satisfying, like flipping a giant middle finger to her entitlement. We were packing up when Linda's SUV screeched into the driveway. "What have you done to my lawn?" she screamed, her voice echoing through the cul-de-sac. "This is vandalism. You're done in this town." Neighbors peeked out as she ranted, dialing 911 and calling me a thug, destroying her property. I stayed calm, which only made her madder. "Linda," I said, cool as ice, "this is what happens when you don't water your lawn right. Pay your bill, and I'll fix it." Her face turned purple, and for a second, I thought she might lunge at me. Instead, she sobbed in her phone, telling the dispatcher a violent criminal was wrecking her yard. The cops showed up 15 minutes later. Linda launched into a tearful tale, painting me as a shady contractor extorting her for bad work, then trashing her lawn when she wouldn't pay. The officers listened, then turned to me. I pulled out my phone and laid it all out. The signed contract progress photos, her change requests, the partial payment, my unanswered messages, her threatening email. I explained that the flipped sod was mine until she paid, and I just demonstrated proper lawn care. One cop bit back a grin as I spoke. Then they asked Linda about the payment. Her story unraveled. First, she swore she'd paid in full. I showed the invoices. Then she claimed the work was defective, but when pressed for specifics, she stammered, falling back on, "I'm the HOA president." That's when the neighbors chimed in. Mike, a guy across the street, stepped up. "Officers, she's been pulling this for years," he said. He'd seen her bully delivery guys, stiff cleaners, and dodge bills from other contractors. Another neighbor backed him up, then another. The cops huddled, faces grim, and turned to Linda. "Ms. Carter," one said, "this looks like a CIVYL dispute overpayment. But we're concerned about a pattern here, possible theft of SARE VYCES from multiple vendors." Linda's jaw dropped. "That's absurd. Do you know who I am?" she sputtered. The officer didn't flinch. "We're also looking at a false police report, which is serious." What started as a lawn spat had peeled back years of Linda's scams. She'd been strong-arming vendors with her HOA clout, getting work done, then finding excuses not to pay not just me, but the pool guy, the lighting crew, even the security company. They asked her to come to the station for questioning. As she was led to the patrol car, no cuffed, but clearly in deep trouble, she shot me a look of pure venom. "You'll regret this," she hissed. "I'll ruin you." I shook my head. "All you had to do was pay, Linda." 3 weeks later, the news broke. Linda faced charges: theft of SARE VYCES over due law 10,000, filing a false report, and attempted extortion. She could get 2 years in prison and fines up to due law 25,000. The HOA booted her as president, and her real estate firm sidelined her. I saw her one last time at a coffee shop, her designer outfits swapped for sweats, her confidence gone. Our eyes met, and for a moment, she looked ready to snap. Then she grabbed her bag and bolted, Leah VYing her latte behind. From HOA queen to criminal defendant, Linda's reign was over. All because she thought she could bully her way out of bail. But here's where it gets juicy. Folks, what do you think? Was I wrong to flip her lawn, or did Linda get what she deserved? Should I have just taken her to court instead? And what about the neighbors' heroes for speaking up, or just piling on when she was down? Drop your thoughts below. Hit that like button if you're team lawn flipping, and subscribe for more wild stories. Let's get this debate rolling.